we're here with Byron from New Car City, and we're going to talk about like when should a startup pivot, and in general about pivoting, and also about team building. First of all, thanks for having me here, Byron.
Thanks a lot for coming out.
Sure, it's so much fun, and so we are in Linwood right now. It's north of Seattle, and first of all, why don't you tell us what New Car City do?
So New Car City is a new car search engine for consumers that are looking to buy a brand new car. And what we've done is we've came up with a way that's going to be friendly for the dealers and friendly for the consumer by addressing both of their needs. So essentially what we'll do is we'll take consumers that are in the market to buy a new car and may not know exactly what they want, and allow them to search through dealers' inventory for the best deals. In doing some research, we found that 83% of consumers don't know exactly what type of new car they want to buy.
Mm-hmm.
And so we've decided to go and try to capture some of that market.
Okay, wonderful. So let me just jump into the topic, pivot. So earlier you had mentioned that New Car City had pivoted from your original business value proposition, and the question is like, what made you do the pivot, and what did you learn from the experience?
Yeah, so New Car City's been a long time in the making. Me and my co-founder have always been in the automotive industry since we were really young. We both started washing cars and worked our way up through the automotive industry. We've both been in management. I owned a couple car dealerships, and so we were really able to test marketing on the dealerships I owned, and we've also helped some other dealerships scale their business models as well. And so originally we realized that, consumers have to shop from dealership to dealership to try to figure out what it is that they can do to get a good deal. So lots of times they'll be driving from dealership to dealership, shopping dealers on price. And so what we originally thought was we would go find a consumer that knew exactly what they wanted to buy. And instead of them having to go and drive all around and shop dealers on price, they could come to our site. We could offer them a few competitive bids and force dealers to give them the best price based off of their criteria. In digging into it and looking at what our competitors have done, it's not a very friendly model for the dealer. And the consumer actually doesn't pay for the service. So our customer is the dealer, but the consumer is the one that's using our service.
Right.
So we had to create a balance there that the competition's really struggled with. So they've got a lot of pushback from the industry as far as locking dealers into selling all of their inventory at a fixed margin. It oftentimes creates a situation where a dealer's most marketable inventory, they're forced to put that up at a fixed margin. So what we've done is tried to help solve dealers' problems and the customer's desire to get a good deal. So what we've done is created a new car search engine that will allow dealers to post up their best deals.
Yes.
Typically what will be the best deal is going to be something that's been in inventory for a while for a dealer, and so they're really motivated to sell it. So what the dealership will be able to do is post up their old age inventory at a deep discount, offering a specific in-stock car to a consumer. And in doing so, they'll be willing to give deeper discounts.
What would be your advice for startups for them? When do they do a pivot, or what are the signs they should look out for to know, okay, this is the right time I need to pivot my strategy or my vision?
Yeah, so my advice on that is really possibly pivot before you even start. So, it all starts with an original idea. So originally our idea was a few years ago, and before we ever launched the product, we kind of pivoted a couple of times. So I think startups, you're definitely eager to get out there and put the product in front of people, and maybe you do that without doing a lot of research. And there's often a lot of data to support some of your presumptions.
Right.
So if you can eliminate those first and get those out of the way, then it's really going to help when you actually do pivot later on with your product.
Okay, makes sense. So then do abundant market research even before you start executing, or just get enough customer feedback.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, if it already exists, if you can already leverage the data that somebody else has gone out there and collected for you,
Right.
you're really going to be at an advantage.
Okay, makes sense. So let me also jump into the other topic, the team building. Uh, what would be a proper way to build a team? Like when I say proper, it's like what is the right mixture? Like, did you try to go build an engineering team first, or a sales team, or did you go look for designers to build your platform? So that's one of the questions. The other question is like, what are the challenges you faced as you started building a team for your new car city?
Yeah, so we're a pretty small team right now. There's 5 of us. Me and the co-founder Mark, he has been my best friend for 10 years, and we've worked together on many projects. So
Okay.
we're really at an advantage, and in that regard, we're not really at the startup point because we really have done a lot of other tech-based automotive lead gen type of businesses in the past. And then, bringing on a team of developers, I think that's a challenge for everybody. Good talent is really hard to come by.
And the developers are in huge demand these days. So
Huge demand, yes, and and there's big names out there that have billions of dollars in revenue that they are looking for talented people. In the sales side, it's not nearly as challenging. Lots of people can sell, and there's plenty. It's a lot easier to teach somebody to be a salesman if they just have a good personality.
Okay.
Whereas if you had a need for a tech lead or a graphic designer, that's not something you can really groom somebody into. You kind of need somebody that has that skill set already.
Experience too, yeah.
Right.
Okay, makes sense. Cool. And could you also share your thoughts on how important it is to build a team? Because like a lot of startups have an idea and they just jumpstart into building a prototype or start building it without giving enough thought about like the team they have to build or the culture of the company. So what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, absolutely. So for us, what we've done is we've put together a team of younger guys that really believe in the vision. They want to change the way that people buy new cars.
Okay.
They want to create transparency in the automotive marketplace, and they're excited about what we do. The other thing that we've done is for our initial round of investment, we brought on strategic investors and people that are in the automotive industry. They kind of already believe in the vision and understand what our value proposition is. So we weren't in a position where we had to go and immediately spend ad dollars to go and do market tests. They kind of understand that. We've also been able to bring on a couple of advisors that have really high level experience in the tech space and in scaling a business, and also advisors that have had great success in the automotive industry.
Okay. So hire the right person with the right passion for this problem you're solving for the startup. That would be
Exactly.
okay. Cool.
Because you're going to have challenges. So if you don't have somebody that believes in what they're doing, it's just too much work for somebody to dive into if they don't really
truly
believe in the
believe in
cause.
it.
Yeah,
Okay.
they've got to believe in it.
That makes sense. Yeah, well, thanks once again for having me here, Byron, and thanks for sharing your perspective on team building and like when to pivot and what to look for to pivot. Yeah, thanks.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for coming out.
Yeah.